Welcome to episode 2 of the Comics United. This is Chris Collins.
This is Christian Brassfield, and in this episode we'd like to talk about the Infinity Gauntlet, the backstory, who'd we like to see wield it, and the weird three-way between Thanos, Lady Death, and Deadpool.
We'd also like to announce our first contest. Send us your name, bio, and a comic-related pic to thecomicsunited@gmail.com. This could be something you've drawn, something you're wearing. You could go full cosplay. Could be you next to a comic character. It doesn't matter. We will run this contest for 4 weeks, and then we'll have our fans choose on our Facebook page who the winner is. Once they've chosen, you get to be a guest host on one of our podcasts and get to choose the topic for that night.
Mm-hmm. A couple of shout-outs first before we get started. Some of our Facebook groups that we're interacting with who have helped us grow so much, not only as a YouTube channel, but our Facebook fan page and just everything. We'd like to give a shout-out to the Universes Collide and Nerding. We'll post a link in the description below so you guys can go find them.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for helping us out.
Yes, so much. Right,
let's get started. The background of the Infinity Gauntlet is Thanos is tasked with removing 50% of life in the universe by Lady Death. So he goes on a search for the Infinity Gems, and once he has all 6, he forms the Infinity Gauntlet. When the gems first appear in the power of the Warlock, they were referred to as the Soul Gems. They were referred to also in the 3rd volume of the Silver Surfer, I think it was. The Thanos Quest series details when he quested for all the gems and then places them in the gold Infinity Gauntlet. And they appeared in the first time together in the second Thanos War. So why don't you tell us about the gems, Christian?
Well, as you said, there are 6 Infinity Gems. Mind being blue, power red, reality yellow, soul green, space is purple, and time is orange. Now, let's get to movie talk, less comic. Phase 1, the Tesseract Cosmic Cube, is one of the artifacts that the universe in the movie universe to imply that Thanos is coming really soon. Like, we are on the verge of seeing Thanos. Like, we can literally smell him. He is like not even. He's just close. Let me just put it to you that way. Phase 2, Thor: The Dark World, and Guardians of the Galaxy, they don't hide anything back from Thanos coming, just like Phase 1. It's just getting close. We're getting closer. All the Infinity Gems are almost found. They call them Infinity Stones in the movie, but they're gems, like in the comic books. He's only missing 2. Well, the films are missing 2. I forget what the names are, but Vision has it in his forehead. And I'm pretty sure, well, positive he's going to die soon because Thanos, he really wants that gem. He needs it for his gauntlet. And we are about to meet Dr. Stephen Strange. That's right. Benedict Cumberbatch is playing Doctor Strange. His amulet that he wears around his neck, giving him his mystical powers, is a Infinity Gem. And he may have to die too, because that's where his powers come from. And Thanos, as I said, really, like, he will go to great lengths to get all those gems back.
Yeah, he will. So it's obvious that it's leading up to the Infinity Gauntlet, and we'll have several movies where the stones are found. Don't you think we'll have a Thanos Quest movie?
Well, there's no doubt that it's leading up. I feel that they will have to have it, but I don't think so soon. Deadpool's in the picture now. The weird three-way is pretty. I mean, it's just the background of how Deadpool became immortal, how he cannot die. But that should definitely happen. But that's before Adam Warlock and the whole aspect of the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos now wanting it for himself. I could see them doing some sort of a prequel, maybe.
Right. So who would you like to see play Lady Death?
It's really a hard choice. Probably Helena Bonham Carter. She's been in a lot of Spielberg movies. She was in I don't know if you've seen Sweeney Todd, but she played a real dark mistress in that one. I think she'd be really good for Lady Death. What do you think?
If Zoe Saldana wasn't already playing Gamora, isn't it Gamora?
Yeah.
Um, I would say her, but other than that, I'd like to see Jessica Alba come back to the Marvel universe.
Well, we all know you have a soft side for old Alba.
Ever since Dark Angel, can you believe? Well, that's been a long time, but she was hot then. She's hot now.
Yeah. I mean, Scarlet Witch looks good for what is she like 31? I mean, she's not old, but she looks pretty good for her age. But yeah, I think I'd like to see Olivia Wilde, if not Helena, or Jessica Alba. But I just don't see Jessica being dark unless she can pull it off. She could pull it off, you know.
Yeah, she probably
But
could.
I say Olivia Wilde because she, what was that? Elizabeth effect. She came back to life and she was like possessed and stuff. And I think it's pretty cool. I think she could pull it off, you know,
Well, why don't we
possibly.
throw it out to our listeners? Who would you like to see as Lady Death? Please leave your comment below with who you would like to see play Lady Death. Who would you like to see play in the yield the Infinity Gauntlet, Christian?
Who would I like to see wield it? Peter Quill. I like Chris Pratt. He was great as Andy in the what was it? Parks and Rec. Loved him in Parks and Rec, but he also plays somewhat of a still of a dimwit in this movie. You know, if he was dumb enough, if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, he grabbed the gem, which well could have killed him, really. But I think if he's dumb enough to grab it, he's dumb enough to put on the gauntlet. But who I'd like to see, probably the Hulk or Iron Man, just to see what they would do with it.
I would have to
What do you
say Superman, Batman, or Spider Man. But all three of them would probably want to bring their parents back.
Yeah, there's not really many superheroes who still have their parents.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
in the Marvel and DC universe, parents are a very small commodity.
yeah, if it was nowadays, we'd have a bunch of emo kids writing comic books. But that's why they have Tumblr. Anyways, I think if Superman wielded it, that he would just, you know, he would sneeze an entire. I mean, he's already has in a comic book, but I feel like he would like just accidentally just fart a galaxy away. You know, I mean, Thanos. I mean, it's funny, but it could happen. Thanos barely swiped his fist, and a whole entire galaxy just was destroyed. You know, I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, so the Infinity Gauntlet is controlled by intention and emotion. And by the way, in the comics, it is Nebula, his adopted daughter, who takes the Infinity Gauntlet and does away with all the damage that Thanos does.
Yeah, be that as it may. Also, she's a total bad, bad A in the in the Guardians of the like she is ruthless.
Yeah.
So to see her turn around to be good is kind of a mind blowing, experience. But also Gamora, she was very well evil also before she turned around in Guardians of the Galaxy. But I feel the only reason she turned around was because she saw how the main character, he always pulls the girls, kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of thing.
Yeah.
You, the chicks hate him but love him. But yeah, she had a romantic falling for him in the movie. Yada yada yada. They kiss. Pratt takes off his shirt, exposing his his good acting skills.
Do you need to? Do you need a minute, Christian?
Sorry, it's getting hot in here.
I don't want to see Chris Pratt with his shirt off, but you brought it up. So, which Marvel character would you like to see with their shirt off?
Well, I had heat from the last episode from my girlfriend, but probably Gina Carano or Angel Dust, the chick who played Angel Dust, probably, or the woman who played Copycat. I mean, we saw her without a shirt, but it was covered up with Ryan Reynolds' hands. But yeah, probably those two.
Or Linda Carter, like it was last week.
All right.
For a woman in her 60s,
She
look
looks.
really good.
I'd pay to see. I mean, unless she was willing to show me, I'd pay to see it, regardless. You know?
This is you with your girlfriend right now.
Yeah, I'm probably a 4 feet. I'm gonna get 6 soon. I mean, what do you think I should have on my gravestone?
I don't know. Um,
Beaten to death with a
Fascinated by
fire.
Star Lord.
Okay. Curiosity kills the cat. Um. Anyways, who would you like to see?
I'm gonna go with Jessica Alba. I know it's dated. It was 2007 the last time she was in a Marvel movie, but I think she'd still look good in her Fantastic Four outfit or out of it.
Yeah. I could see that. Oh yeah. Just to add a third one, just to get me in more trouble, I'd have to say Scarlett Johansson also.
We could, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see it. Um. So, what do you think about the Red Skull returning somehow, shape, and form? Maybe.
Well, I mean, he's dead, but it's like nobody dies in the Marvel universe, really. Or at least they could be brought back. So I'm gonna go with at the very end of Captain America: Civil War, or sometime in the Infinity
Um, I agree. Possibly a post-credit, Marvel's famous post-credit scene. I could see Thanos standing around all bad guys and Red Skull coming out, like having the last Infinity Gem, like here it is, but let me, take over or something. Or Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet bringing Red Skull back to life as his right-hand man, or something to that extent. But if you're gonna have a crap load of 68 to 70 main characters in this casted, they're already casted. I mean, that's a crap ton of money.
War. Well, no
If you're
wonder the
gonna have,
movie's gonna run 3 hours.
yeah, like nearly 3 hours. It's the longest running Marvel movie to date. Um, but if you're gonna have a buttload of good guys, you're gonna have a crap load of bad guys too. I mean,
I'd
you
say
just
they'll
have
have
to.
an equal amount of villains, but why don't you tell us what starts the Infinity?
Well, basically, this guy, Adam Warlock, he takes the Infinity Gauntlet, expels all of the good and evil aspects from himself, um, now basically making himself a logical being. That's why I said that Superman, Batman would be terrible. Anybody else would be terrible because of their parents' death. They would have, suppressed memories. They have to be a wise being to use this gauntlet, at peace rather. Well, anyways, Adam Warlock then creates after he takes the bad and good from himself, he creates a persona of himself that is completely evil, named Magus. He lusts for universal conquest and revenge against Adam and the Titan Thanos. Basically starting a galactical war. Galactus and many other superheroes end up fighting doppelgangers of themselves, which is, how cool is that? Really. Um, it's a crazy story told in 6 series of comic books. I say the comic books are better than the movies, but yet again, I haven't seen the Russo brothers do everything they could. Everything from the comic books is really on the big screen, so I'd like to see it on the big screen. So Baron Zemo, do you know anything about him?
No, actually, I don't. Why don't you tell us?
Sit back, buckle up, let me take you to class. You can teach an old dog new tricks, apparently. Well, the original is dead. He got killed by, I hate to say he got killed, but he killed himself. But he got killed by Captain America. He got blinded by Captain America's shield from the sun, causing him to shoot rocks, causing an avalanche, killing himself. But there's a new Baron Zemo in town, his son. His son's name is Helmet. Your face. Helmet. Yes. Guys, caption his face at that exact moment. Comment what he's thinking. We'd love to hear. But yeah, his name is Helmet. He would be the new Baron Zemo. He idolized his father like most children did. He followed in his footsteps to be a crazy scientist also, becoming the new Baron Zemo, trying to kill Captain America alongside Crossbones, who tries Crossbones plays an important part. Um, tries to kill. Spoiler alert! In the comics, he tries to kill Captain America. But I feel that's not going to happen since Chris Evans is contracted for Infinity War 1 and 2. Anyways, that's the lesson.
Pretty interesting. I don't know that I'd idolize somebody that named me Helmet.
Well, that's kind of like being named Jockstrap or Knee Pads. You don't do unless it's a family, name, kind of like a boy named Sue. You just don't do it.
Yeah. So how exactly are they going to do the Infinity Wars without doing the storyline where Thanos originally wielded the glove, removed half the life from the universe, and that has to happen before Adam Warlock even gets the glove.
You know, um, I'm not real sure that they can do a post-credit scene where Adam Warlock at the end of the movie, or they can do a couple of flashbacks. The only thing about the flashbacks, though, I hope they don't do it where it's overwhelming. Um, too many flashbacks could ruin the movie. Too less flashbacks could also ruin the movie. I think two or three flashbacks, 5 minutes tops in the movie, just to give us a little background, would be incredible. Because there's a bunch of people who are just comic book movie fans. They're not comic book and movie fans. They're just straight up movie fans. They call themselves comic book fans, but they've only seen the movies.
Right. Right.
So they need to know what they don't know. You know?
This is true. I like the movies. I like them a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're not in order, and they're not in chronological order, certainly.
Well, I mean, when people first saw Star Wars back in the day, they were like, four? Why are these, where's one and the others, Where's six?
When it
Where,
first came out, it wasn't called for though. It
oh
was
yeah, well, yeah. But after, I mean, it was hard to explain if you've never seen Star Wars. Do yourself a favor and go watch Star Wars, guys. Um, but they're out of order when they first came out. Anyways, I mean, Lucas is a genius. Anyways, people gave him crap for the prequels, but they still fell in line. They were everything we needed and more. But if you want to see chronologically out of order, um, watch the X-Men movies. It'll make you mad. Literally, it will. They screw up the timeline so bad. Okay, in the 70s, he's a young guy with long hair. Skip to the 80s, he looks like he's aged 40 times more than he already looks, and he loses his hair, and he looks like Picard from Star Trek.
right.
They must have been doing some kind of hardcore drugs
Was
or
that the
something.
'70s though, or was that portrayed in the '60s when they did that? I thought it was '60s.
Um, I'm, I think First Class was in the 60s, but they did X-Men Days of Future Past when Wolverine went back to the 70s.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, see, you're even confused, and when you said that, it made me
I've
confused.
watched all of the X-Men movies, but you're right; they are so far out of there. We're gonna have to watch them one weekend, and then we'll do a show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 15 hours of straight movies, but the reviews are in. Uh, going off the rails here, but the reviews are in. BVS, Batman versus Superman, not so hot with the critics. I mean,
Not so hot with the writing at all. I
oh,
mean, without giving any spoilers away, I thought Affleck did a really good job as Batman. Of course, Cavill was already deeply seated as Superman, and Wonder Woman was hot and did an excellent
Steven.
job. Stole the show, actually.
Yeah.
Um, but the writing was all over the map, and I think they could have done a better job. But I guess it doesn't matter what the critics say, nor the fans at this point, because it's made $400 million at the box office.
Yeah, see, I'm a Marvel and DC fan. I'm both. I'm neither here or there. I am both, Um, but they're doing it wrong. I mean, I know I sound stupid saying they're doing it wrong. They're fourth highest grossing movie right now. But when I'm saying they're doing it wrong, Marvel paced themselves, you know? Iron Man came out in 2008. 2011, uh, not Winter Soldier, Captain America, and then Thor, and then all these other movies, and then it totally combined into the Avengers. That's what I'm saying. Where they're doing it wrong, they pushed everything too hard in BVS.
Well, yeah, they've got such a. It's not just BVS. They've got such a big schedule for DC. It's like there's going to be 3 more movies this year, or at least 2 more this year, and then like 3 next year, and then 3 the year after that, all the way up to
They're going all the way to 2020. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But trying not to give any spoilers away, but it was just all over the map. I mean, I hope I don't offend anybody out there. I mean, age is just a number. But Affleck is pushing 50, I believe. He was a great Batman. I believe Bell was a little bit better, but he was a pretty good Batman. Not what I expected at all. I was expecting a crash and burn, kind of like the Daredevil movie.
Okay, so I think if they were going to have people accept Affleck as the new Batman, that they should have given him a standalone movie with one of the villains
Yes.
first.
Yes.
Before they tried to throw him into this movie with Henry Cavill and another superhero, which is Wonder Woman. I don't think that in the time allotted in that movie with a new character that it did that character as much justice. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought he was a pretty good badass as Batman.
Oh, spot on.
He was nowhere near the Batman that Christian Bale became after 3 Dark Knight movies.
Mm-mm.
And I think he knows it too. I mean, you know the video. Did you see it?
Yeah.
They're talking.
He's just sitting there. He's like,
the whole time he's downcast. Henry Cavill's talking the whole interview, and at the very end, he goes, "Yeah, I agree." But he looked like he could have cried. He really did.
Yeah, he was having flashbacks of Daredevil, you know.
Well,
But
the critics haven't they panned this movie worse than they did Daredevil?
yeah, I'm very positive they did. It's worse than Daredevil. It's also worse than Geely. How can you get any worse than that?
What is Geely?
It came out the same year as Daredevil did. It was a uh, it was a poorly written movie. It was a poorly acted movie. It was basically Jessica. No. Jennifer Lopez. It's one of her very first movies where she started taking up acting. So it was god awful. But he revived himself with Argo.
Yeah.
So
So what I think is going to happen though is it's going to it'll become more cohesive by the time we get to Justice League.
oh yeah, I can tell where it's going to come together. I don't want to give any spoilers out, but I feel that I just don't. I'm just gonna stop right there. That's for another video, another time. But that video will have a label of spoiler at the top, so you guys know what you're in for. But no spoilers this video. Sorry, I'm gonna have to stop myself.
But when it comes to critics, they usually hate everything I like anyway.
Hmm. I mean, idiots like us are seeing this movie 4-5 times a day. You know, that's why it's number 4 right now at highest grossing. You know, Star Wars Episode 7 is number 1. 2 is Jurassic World. Harry Potter Deathly Hallows 2 is 3, and Batman vs Superman is 4 right now. How crazy! They haven't even had a second weekend. They're already number 4, beating Age of Ultron, the first Avengers movie, and Iron Man 3.
Which
Incredibly crazy.
I think it's crazy because based on the writing, it shouldn't be there.
Oh, unless you're a die-hard fan. I mean, I am, and I thought it was crap. But unless you're a die-hard fan, this movie is not good. The writing is everywhere. The only thing that people are really looking at is the action. That's it. A pretty girl and the action.
Without giving any spoilers at all, the fight scenes though were pretty good.
Pretty.
Say that.
Yeah. That's probably what saved the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say so. But last thought on BVS, I still think it should have been Christian Bale. They should have had Morgan Freeman back to be the gadget guy. I think it would have been a better movie.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think Christian Bale was just done with it. He wanted to pursue other things, which is totally fine. But I feel like he could have had like one more shot. He's been Batman long enough to do this movie.
Right, but then he would have had to been Batman for the next what? Because Batman will make an appearance
He
in
would have
all
been
of the
Batman
movies
for
coming
like
out.
another 10 years or so.
Yeah. And I guess it would get tiring playing that one part over and over again. But as fans, we're always going to get let down. And I mean, I can say one word that'll sum up the fans getting let down.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Firefly.
Don't hate me for this, but I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff, but TV shows and movies and stuff. I'm a fan of older stuff, hence Linda Carter. But I've never seen Firefly.
Oh, well, Firefly was one of the best sci-fi shows ever. It was canceled after the first season. It's on Netflix. You really need to watch it. And then there is a follow-up movie called Serenity that wasn't even going to be made until the fans made such an outrageous stand saying that they wanted this show back that they brought it together and kind of did a love piece, which was the movie Serenity. In recent times, Netflix has teased, or there's been some rumors that Netflix may bring it back for a second series or at least a movie, and all the characters are up for that.
Really? So even if they do look older, are they going to have an explanation for that, or do they look up to par nowadays? Do they still look like they did back then?
Yeah, I mean, we're only talking 10 years ago, or actually, I guess it would have been 14 years ago.
14 years. Yeah. I would have been about 4 or 5. This 2002?
2002, 2003, yeah.
Yeah,
And then I think Serenity came out 2005 or 6.
Yeah, I was about 4 or 5 when it came out, and 6 when it ended, maybe. But I think I've seen it on net. Like I haven't seen the show, but I've seen the picture for it. Isn't Adam Baldwin in it? I like him. He was in Chuck, but isn't he in there?
Chuck was great. Yes, he was in it. Yes, very good character.
I love him as an actor. He no relation to the Baldwin brothers, but he's a great actor.
Yeah,
I really like him.
Well, I would like to say thank you for watching the second episode of the Comics United. I would like you to please go to our Facebook page, push that like button, or you can join us on Tumblr and Twitter at the Comics United. This is Chris Collins.
This has been Christian Brassfield, and we will link everybody we have mentioned, all the shout-outs. Shout out again to the Universes Collide and Nerding. We'll post links below for in the description below. We'll also put links to Tumblr, Instagram, our Facebook page. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Have a good night.